Hey, glad you're here. I'm Josh, and this is the Zap we use for our client startup. It saved us a bunch of time, and I hope it can help you too. So you already know why you're here. I'm going to skip the small talk. This is how the Zap goes. So the first is the trigger. In our case, it's the signing of the proposal and better proposals, but it could be anything you want really. I have a client that has his startup triggered by moving a deal to the one phase, an active campaign. One like I'm a winner, not the number one. Uh, uh, you just have to make sure that there's a client name in there somewhere on the trigger so that it can be passed on to the next steps, right? So the next is a filter stage that makes sure that a brand ID is being verified. That's all it does. So it says here, let's see here, let's open that up. That's all it wants to do. It's just confirming a brand ID. And what that does is then it goes into the next is looking up a spreadsheet row in Google Sheets. So basically, it's filtering to make sure that this particular client is in this spreadsheet. Our spreadsheet is in a general folder, and it checks to see if that company that triggered the automation is already a client. If so, it stops the Zap from running in order to prevent duplicates of existing materials, or the last step is creating a ClickUp board, so that doesn't make another ClickUp board. Also, this next step is in QuickBooks, right? Creating a customer profile and an invoice. So it will stop before we get to there so that someone doesn't get invoiced twice, right? So in QuickBooks, a new customer is created. It passes their first and last name and their tax registration ID. This is for our Canadian clients, as well as the currency. So they get their first invoice. Where are we? Right, it creates the profile. It takes their information, some of their information that they gave in better proposals, their name, email, business name, creates an invoice. Let's see here. So I paused for a second to blur some things out. So the app is QuickBooks, and again, this could be your bookkeeping software, or maybe you don't want to have that automated, or maybe right now you don't have that automated. You could then just stick a Gmail notification in there to go out automatically to your bookkeeper that would have your new client's information, name, business. I'll show you down here how much are they making. So this first invoice for us is our startup invoice. So here's the customer ID that gets passed through, right? That's their unique identifier in QuickBooks. Terms, weekday hours is due on receipt, invoice date today, due date today. For this, so this is for our startup. So in our better proposals, we have a startup fee as the one-time fee, as well as the ongoing monthly fee. So our startup fee for this particular client type was 2,250 Canadian. So that's the rate and the one-off total, GST for Canadian, and then also we have this message going out on an invoice, and we also use something called Converge for the payment processing. So they get a link, it goes into Converge, and they get a link to be able to just go pay that right out. Let's see here, what else? That's about it for that. And we're also passing the currency code, obviously, so that that can be processed correctly. Okay. All right. So if you think some of that stuff was tedious, now we're going way into the weeds. Here is where folder creation and template duplication and then placement of those templates into their folders gets taken off your shoulders. So first we create the folder that will contain all things related to the new client. We have different folders for each service, as well as a client accessible folder for them to be able to upload materials, whether it's images or videos or anything else we need from them. So we have folders for SEO, web design, and CRO, Google Ads, targeted ads. And then within those folders, we have subfolders for collateral that we're going to be creating, including ad copy, ad images, banners, blog posts, web copy, Google business profile stuff like posts and images. And along with that, we have all of our docs and sheets duplicated and put into the aforementioned folders and subfolders. Those docs and sheets could be, templates for ads or keyword research for SEO or client admin stuff like their physical addresses, company contacts, and their birthdays, platform logins, including hosting a domain, social profiles, and anything else we need to access. We have campaign roadmaps, which tell us sort of, we put anything related to that particular type of service. So like the targeted ads spreadsheet where we put all the ad copy and the variations that we write. Same with Google ads, client onboarding questions that we use in our launch calls that obviously, those questions help us execute on the services that we're giving them. Let's see here. Let me just, I'm going to open these things up so that you can see them. 1 second. All right, so here is the creation of the overall client folder that everything is going to go underneath. So we're creating a folder. It goes into our Google Drive. The parent folder, you don't put the name of that parent folder. So our parent folder is active clients, right? And so this is the active clients. I guess I don't even, their Google identifier, that particular identifier for that on Google's server. And here we're creating the client information sheet. That's the one that I told you that's got all of their different business info, physical info, who's our point of contact in there, and what's their contact information, what's the decision maker's contact information, anything that you possibly need for communication, logins, that sort of thing goes there, right? So this is created and then moved into the client information folder. Into the client folder. Then we create their client onboarding questions. This is actually, we have two ways of doing it. This is the way that sends it out as a, I'm sorry, I got confused. These client onboarding questions are ones that our account managers use when they go in, when we have our launch call, and then they go back over the questions and then they fill out extra stuff. But we also have a step where in high level, they get this automation puts a tag on them. They get then put into an automation in Go High Level, which then sends out onboarding questions in a survey so that they can fill that stuff out, and that goes into their CRM profile in High Level. But again, this is for our account managers to go back over and fill out and sort of like dig deeper, because when a client fills out their onboarding stuff, maybe they think they know the answer to the question, but really you need someone on the marketing side to be able to pry the real answers out of them, and that's why we have that launch call. So anyway, those questions are moved into the client folder. We have then the client accessible folder creation, existing images, videos, content folder, so they can upload all that kind of stuff. This is our website design folder for anything web related or CRO related that we're doing for them. Google Ads. Then this is creating a folder within Google Drive for, let's even just look. We're creating a folder. Let's see here real quick. All right, we're creating just another folder in there for reporting. This is where all of our reports go in so that we can, because we report on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis on different types of stuff, just to keep the client thinking they're in the loop, keeping them in the loop, but also that perspective that we're thinking of them, we're doing stuff for them. These are the things that increase client retention. Google Ads campaign roadmap, like I said, there's keywords, also audience. If we have to build the audience for retargeting kind of stuff, anything that's related to possibly executing a Google ad campaign. All right, let's see here. Same thing with targeted ads.
Showing pictures that match.
Okay, so let's just look real quick in our SEO folder, just for shits and giggles. Right, creating the folder. It's kind of like the other one before, right? Parent folder, same thing, but this is for our SEO stuff. Anything SEO goes in there. Let's see what else we got. All the rest of this see, look at how many folders and templates we have. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So much time saved by this Zap. Okay, here. This is where we add our account in High Level, right? So let's see here. It tags a user. This Zap will create an account for that particular client in High Level, and then this is where we add a tag. This is where I told you about how there's this tag that then triggers the automation for them to go into, and I can actually show you, and I'll open it in a second, where it will go into the different automations for client startup, including filling out the rest of their client onboarding questions, as well as reminding them to book a launch call. And then we have a longer automation over a few months where we set expectations for them. We tell them what they're going to be, what they can expect from us, as well as what we expect from them in terms of the amount of time we can give them for turnaround on approval of content, right? So letting them know that it's not just on us to get everything done on time. We need their input. We need their approval on written materials and on design materials. We need them to be consistently on time in order for us to keep a timeline that we spell out for them at the beginning of working together with them. These are our emails where we're sending out notifications to our team members about the new client. This is where we're creating a channel in Slack, invite one user in Slack that to let, so it was either me or my partner who's getting that message, and then it became our project manager who's getting that message to that there's now a Slack channel, because something that I haven't figured out how to do, and I'm not sure it's possible yet because there's the user groups in Slack. We need to be able to add the new client to that user group. So for our SEO people, right, they have all the clients in the user group that are getting SEO, so they're automatically added to those channels, as opposed to adding an individual every single time to a particular channel. We have the user group that's the SEO clients that already consists of all of our people that do SEO. So the second our project manager gets the notification that this new client has been signed, they go in and add that new client to that user group so that everyone just gets blasted into that particular Slack channel. Send a message on Slack, hi, we have a new client, and this is an email that gets sent out for notifications for other people. Now, here is here's a copy of this that I made that also adds creating a folder in ClickUp. So here we are creating this folder in ClickUp, which takes then from a template for whatever services that particular client is going to need. Now, because you can do this a couple ways, you can have a Zap for each different client type, but to me, that starts getting confusing. So what we have is we have an overall template with every service that a client could possibly need. And then the project manager just goes in and deletes whatever. So like if someone's not getting SEO, but they're getting paid ads and web design, it will create the entire thing. But then our PM will just go in and then delete the list for SEO. To me, it's just way faster than having to build a whole bunch of different Zaps, and the possibilities of something getting messed up. If a client signs the wrong thing or if somebody does the wrong thing, it will start up. It could trigger a Zap that might not be the exact Zap that person or that client needs. So let's see here. Let's just go in, choosing an account. It's mine. Setting up the action. Let's see here. Okay, so you might have seen earlier in the video, the Zap that said more hot leads. That's our general agency. Flooring Pros is our niche agency. And as you can see, we're creating a folder in our Flooring Pros space in ClickUp. New client folder template, which is, like I said, is everything. And then the folder name is the client name. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, if you need any help figuring out how you like, obviously everyone's different. So if you need some help figuring out the differences between my Zap and your company, and you need help kind of like, making it more appropriate for you, just reach out with my appointment scheduler, and I will be happy to lend a hand. Alrighty. I hope this takes hours off your client startup and increases your profit margin, because it did it for us. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.